welcome to the Blue Shell Review. Joining me is See No Evil Matt Chapman.
Hello.
And Stretch No Evil Craig Clark.
Stretch No Evil, you're absolute. Hi.
This week Alex isn't with us because he's not very well, so our thoughts go out to him.
Alex.
How do we do that? How do we send our thoughts to him?
Well, telepathically, I get to guess. I don't think touching your temples and humming is the way to go.
That's the only way I know how to send thoughts out.
Right.
I'd go with a simple text message.
Yeah.
Oh, I could do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I forgot the name of the game. Strange Brigade.
It was one of the ones that I was interested in. I don't really know what it is, so you're going to educate me.
It's the closest you're going to get anytime soon to a Left 4 Dead type game where you can play online with at least 4 people.
Now, wait a minute. Left 4 Dead was on the Xbox, wasn't it? The 360.
Yeah, I mean, it was Left 4 as in the number 4 dead, and it was because it was 4-player.
And as far as I remember, there wasn't a single player story, was it? It was just a 4-player.
You could play it single player.
All right.
Pardon me. You could play it single player, but the best part of the game was the fact you could play with other people. And Strange Brigade is very much the same, where you can play with up to 4 other people. Now, the strangest thing about Strange Brigade is you can all play the same character.
Okay.
So
you've got 4 of the same guy walking around.
4 people could be the same guy, but...
Is it a choice of characters, or is it like you customise your own...
You get to choose your own character, and then when it comes to weapons, special powers, you get to choose which ones you want out of a selection on them.
Okay,
so each one of them characters, they could all be the same 4 people, but they might have different weapons, they might have a different special ability, that kind of thing.
So here's the thing that's going to be a selling point to me, as it always is on these games. Can you also play that single player?
Yes.
Right, so it's like jump in, jump out. You can play it 2-player, 3-player.
Yeah. You can play the main campaign single player.
Okay.
Or you can play it online with other people, and then there's what they call the horde mode, where it is literally countless enemy coming after you.
Because you see, this is what I absolutely loved about Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's the fact that you could play it on your own, and then if your friend came online, boom, they just jumped straight into your game, and wherever you were on the map or whatever, they could just jump straight in.
One of the things I love about the game, when you play the campaign mode especially, is the narrator.
Okay.
It is very much pulp, 1920s pulp. Imagine you're playing the Mummy films, is the best way to explain it. That kind of kitsch, funness.
Are we talking about the original Mummy films?
The one with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, right.
So you get the fun of that, because the whole campaign is about...
The Brendan Fraser Mummy films was not made in the 20s.
No, but it's very much set in the 1920s with their over-the-topness, if you know what I mean.
Over-the-topness.
Over-the-topness.
So it's sort of... what is it? What's the...
what kind of game is it?
Basically it is a run-around shooty game. Third-person shoot 'em up.
Yeah, but what's the story?
There is a mummy.
Right.
That has...
Oh, so that's why you said it was...
that makes sense now.
It's a mummy has come back from the dead, and you are part of what is called the Strange Brigade, who is set out from an unknown voice in a radio that tells you what to go and do.
And is the Strange Brigade a bit of a sort of a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen type
Yes. Sketch? The game's created by Rebellion, the same company that made Judge Dredd.
Okay.
And so far, the game's been out about 4 months, and they've already pumped a load of downloadable content.
Will you stop swinging your legs about just because you can't touch the floor?
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Leave me alone. Yeah, they've got a lot of downloadable content as well. So at the moment, it started off where you could only have 4 characters.
Yeah.
There is already 6 characters that you can pick.
Okay, and obviously it's still not out yet, so it's probably still growing.
Yes, very much so. It is a lot of fun.
So have you seen a beta for this then?
No, I'm playing the game.
Oh, you've actually got full game's out?
Full game's out.
Okay, so...
I'm extra interested in it now, I must say.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen it on the shelf and I thought, maybe.
So graphically then, what we're looking on the spectrum of sort of like sort of good graphics being, I don't know, like Uncharted, for example, to bad graphics being, I don't know, Super Mario Brothers.
Right, okay, so you're closer to Uncharted than Super Mario Brothers for definite. If
Right,
Uncharted is 10, you're looking at around about an 8 for the graphics.
Okay.
Gameplay itself is quite easy to pick up with. You can...
So the controls and stuff, it's just easy to sort of pick up and shoot.
as I say, the biggest selling point for this game is the narrator himself.
Right.
In the background, you've got this narrator that if you leave your character standing still, he will start having a go at you.
Oh, so it's
Our
quite-
heroes are standing still.
Exactly, that kind of thing.
Oh, so when you say a good narrator, you mean in a quite comedic
Yes.
kind of way?
Yeah, there's an actual narrator in the film.
There's an actual... and
in the film, in the game.
In the game, and it comes over the top. I mean, you cutscene at the beginning, you start off in a blimp, at which point the person trying to give you the mission might be talking, at which point all your characters in the cutscene are ignoring you. So the narrator will start coughing to try and get their attention to listen to the radio and then start sassing them at
Right.
the same time.
Okay.
On top of that, there's secrets to find within the game. There's like Copic jars, or the fun that I have is shooting the cats. There's little blue cats that you can find
Something
around.
wrong with you?
There is. Cats are evil. You go around. The narrator agrees. Cats are evil.
Yeah, because the mummy doesn't like cats.
Yes, but at the end of each particular level, if you've caught up to 7 cats, I believe it's 7, a secret cat area will open up which has got money in. Now, the way the game works is if you're the first person to collect that money, you've got that money.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't share it.
Right, I see. So if you're in a party with other people, you would get the money and not the whole party.
Yes, so you go robbing as quickly as you can. And
What happened to teamwork and sharing is fun?
sharing's caring.
Yeah.
And no. That said, if you end up jumping into the game a little later on, where they're all fighting the big boss, once you've defeated a big boss, you get a load of money anyway.
I mean, yeah, they're all going to be fighting it with like, I don't know, like mini guns and things, and you're walking in with your little pea shooter because you've only just started.
Not necessarily, actually. No miniguns as such, more a bolt action rifle.
What, that's like the
Or a
most
shotgun.
powerful weapon?
There is a machine gun, but it is very... Each particular... It depends what you prefer playing with. So you can upgrade your weapon with...
Super Soaker.
Super Soakers, is that what we're going with?
You said you whatever weapon you prefer playing with.
Super Soaker.
Super Soaker.
You can get...
Well, it's sand, isn't it?
What's that got to do with water?
Well, you just got water on sand, it goes all solid, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You never made a sandcastle?
I'm so glad you don't build houses.
When I say solid, I don't mean like brick solid.
No, you meant brick solid.
I mean like a sandcastle.
Oh, right, okay. No Super Soakers. You can get charms for your weapons, so if you have like an ice charm, every now and then you'll shoot an enemy and they'll turn rock solid.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So there's numerous things you can do within the game.
Yeah.
It is definitely worth a go. Even if you can find a demo or anything like that, have a
Well,
play.
we were almost sold on it, but then you said no Super Soakers. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be a Super Soaker.
How old are you? Like? Did you not... Nerf's the rage now.
boring, isn't it?
Can't get wet with a Nerf. Yeah, it sounds really good. From your description alone, it sounds like a game that I'm probably look into. I'm assuming it's going to be out on sort of all the regular formats, or it is out.
I believe it's already out on most formats.
Guess the sound. Guess the sound. Yes, this is Guess the Sound. It is the quiz where we will pick sounds from any era of gaming, play them to the others, and whoever gets it first wins the point. Whoever gets the most points at the end of it wins the quiz.
Well done, Matt. Just straight up, well done.
This week, as Craig's worried about there, I'll be choosing the sounds, and Matt and Craig will be competing against each other. Okay, are we ready?
Yep.
Sound number 1.
Oh, I think that was when you finished a level on Sonic.
No.
Bugger.
That sounds like my bank account when money gets transactioned into it.
No.
No? Oh.
Gives it again. It's definitely retro. Clearly retro.
I have no idea.
Do you want a clue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a game that came out on the NES.
Oh.
I never had one of them.
It was also, I'll add, a massive arcade game.
A massive.
It is also a very popular 90s children's cartoon. There was
Teenage
also...
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's the one.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was that bit from?
At the end where you pass the level at the end.
I see, that was
That's
the
the-
problem. I
the
had
level
played
clear.
it, but I never completed it.
Yeah, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Okay, Craig's 1-0 up. Okay, sound number 2, are we ready?
Yeah.
Oh, Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, I was just about to
Yes.
say that.
I must admit that was aided by the fact that I've been playing the remastered version just lately.
Okay, so that's 1-1 going into sound number 3.
Live from your grave.
Oh,
I love it when they do that.
God! I know damn well I can picture the game.
Alter Beast.
Yes, well done. So that's 2-1 to Craig.
See, look, he plays it all sort of. I'm not going to get any.
Ready for sound number 4?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Super Metroid.
Yes. Right, so that's 2-2. So this is your decider. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah.
I was just going to say it.
And the winner is Craig.
Oh, I got excited.
I want to know what that other one is now.
I know, I can see your little legs swinging.
What is it? What's the
Do you know in a minute?
I can't remember.
You're going to have to get me off this high chair.
Right, this week I was going to talk about the Arkham Batman series. Because recently I've been playing the newest of the 4 technically, but the newest 4, which is called Arkham Knight, which I thought was a very pretty game. There were loads to do in it. A couple of little criticisms.
Is pretty usually the word that you've used to describe a dark and dingy city?
It is a dark and dingy city, but the way it's been done is, it's very cleverly done, I suppose. It's not pretty, no, because it's, like you say, it's Gotham City, but...
it's more gritty than pretty.
Yeah. A couple of little criticisms to make for it. I mean, the game itself, the storyline is really good, it's really clever, so loads of twists and turns going through it. The graphical content is what you've come to expect from a Rocksteady gaming series. The gadgets and Batman himself, all the characters are in there. There's everything that you want from a sort of, not just a Batman game, but from a DC game in general.
Yeah.
But I found that there was too much time spent in the Batmobile for a start.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Not played it, but I've heard.
This is a new feature for this last game, basically. Like the latest game was the first one that introduced having the Batmobile in it. And they're obviously proud about having this sort of engine put into it, because there's so much of the storyline that's based on you being in the Batmobile. There's loads of sort of tanks and stuff that appear.
That and the Riddler's competitions, which are all Batmobile related as well.
No, not all of them. Only a few of them. You have sort of racing circuits that he sets you on.
Yeah, racing circuits.
You have other ones where you've got to sort of team up with Catwoman to do these other little ones.
Okay.
But no, there's like the whole city ends up filled with all these little tanks and things like that. Whereas in like you've got to be in the Batmobile in order to do anything about them, because there's no chance you'll be able to take them down with just Batman himself.
In shark repellent.
Yeah.
There's
not a lot you can do there. The storyline I thought was as good as it was still a bit short. There wasn't a massive storyline, and the sort of twist to find out who the Arkham Knight was, you find out too early. Before he gets revealed who he is, right early on in the game, you know who it is just from what's happening in the story. So I thought that was a bit of a letdown, really. The twist as such wasn't much of a twist. There are other little twists and turns that go through the series that are really good, and we're like, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's pretty good. But I thought the storyline in general was a bit short. However, my favourite game of this series by far, even still now, and it's one that people don't necessarily agree with, because there's a lot of sort of like arguments over which the best Arkham game is.
Yeah.
A lot of people say Arkham City, a lot of people still say Arkham Asylum. For me, it's the latter. It's Arkham Asylum.
I think that is probably the most popular opinion.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum for me is the most rounded out of all the games in the series. The characters are so stooped in all this history that you can find, and all the characters are really deep. The storyline is really cleverly done.
Yeah, no,
all the collectibles that you find all connect together in one form or another. You find them little sort of like plaques and things that sort of relate to was it Lord Arkham or something like that. And you sort of the more that you collect, the more you find out who.
Strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, the more you collect, the more you find out who it's actually meant to be.
Yeah,
just that first game, it had like everything. I mean, it was obviously what excelled the series in the first place. I mean, because it was so, the storyline was just breathtaking. You were on the edge of your seat through the whole thing. You didn't want to put it down and have a break because every bit of the story was just had you at the edge of your seat.
Well, it was the fighting that was phenomenal in that game as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was so satisfying,
the
just
first time
jumping from one bad guy to the next, just kick him in the face, kick him in the shin.
It does get you that feeling that I know that Batman doesn't kill anyone, and his whole thing is I'm never going to kill anyone, but you kind of felt that
severe maiming is fine.
Oh yeah, apparently, permanent paralysis.
Yeah, that's fine as long as it's not dead.
Yeah.
He wishes he was, but he's not. As long as he's not
like,
dead.
That poor goon goes home later that night and says to his wife, "Please turn off my life support machine." That kind of thing.
Hang on a minute. Let's just untangle that one a minute. The goon goes home at the end of the night and says to his missus to switch off his machine.
Yeah.
Generally, as a rule, I'd say that people.
So is he carrying his machine home with him?
I'd say that generally, people who can say, "Please switch off my light support machine," probably don't need it switching off.
Yeah, they probably actually do need it switched on because they don't need it in the first place.
Yeah. Just disconnect that for me. I'm going down the shop.
Which was the third one? Was that Arkham Origins?
Arkham. This is the way I'm saying. Like, there are technically 4 games for the series because Arkham City, which was the second of the series, sort of followed on as such from Arkham Asylum, but then Arkham Origins, it's more of a massive DLC for Arkham City because it's the same map. It's Arkham City, just in the past.
Another reason why you might notice big differences between that and all the other games is all the other ones were made by the same developer, whereas Origins was made by a different developer.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't Rocksteady, was it?
Problem I had with Origins, you had to change the disc as well at certain stages, I believe, didn't you?
No.
Well, because the game I had, it just kept stopping saying, "Please insert disc 2."
Did you buy it from
Amiga?
So did you buy it from Dodgy Pete down the road?
No, leave Dodgy Pete out. He's a legitimate businessman.
He sells triangle PlayStation games.
Look, he's a legitimate businessman just because he has one more eye patch than Matt.
That makes 3 then.
And his words are, "Or come in me store." Yeah.
I'm glad that sentence ended with store.
Yeah.
Well, he sees you coming. How many eye patches he's got?
He don't. He just senses, man, like Daredevil.
Play this game. It's Tekken 18.
Tekken 18 was a good game.
It's only had 2 characters, and neither one of them have ever been in a Tekken series. But yeah.
Yeah. Interesting fact. Interesting fact. Interesting fact. Interesting fact. Interesting fact. Interesting fact. Interesting fact.
Right. Anyway, Craig's interesting fact. This is a twist on Alex's little-known game. In fact.
Yeah. Interesting fact.
But this one's got to be interesting.
Interesting. I've picked Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem.
I like that game.
But what I wanted to do was I wanted to give you both a guess at how many unique insanity effects are involved in Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem.
Oh, that's quite a question because I know there's a lot.
Yes.
And
I'm guessing there's actually more than in the
Well, the thing is that the further you play through the game, the more they increase. Just to sort of clarify what these insanity effects are, just describe what the game is.
The game is a very good game.
You've never played it, have you?
No, I have played it. I played it to a point of I completed it once and then realised that the actual ending of the game, there is only 3 endings, and depending on which colour you picked, defeats one of the others, but the other one's
Hang on a minute, you're saying that now like it's some sort of like real disappointment. Well, there's only 3 endings.
Yeah, there is only
quite a lot of games still only have the one.
Right, okay. Well, bear in mind this is a GameCube game.
Yes, it was.
This came out for the Nintendo GameCube, and the idea was you sort of. I think you're the daughter of the guy that owns the mansion.
Yes.
So you sort of come in as this sort of character, and you're investigating basically what's happened in this mansion. And the more you investigate, the more strange little things start happening. And when I say strange little things, I don't mean for the character. I mean for you as a player.
Yes.
So, for example, you have things like all of a sudden your volume will go down on your TV. And you'll think, oh, I leaned on the remote or something like that. No, it's an effect in the game. Or spiders will start crawling across the screen.
It was rumoured when the game was first coming out that some of the insanity effects you didn't even know were happening. So you could end up playing a level in the game and not being able to figure anything out for about half an hour, and then all of a sudden it just resets to back where it was originally.
Give some more specific examples.
Well, things like when you press right, she'll start moving left. for example, or at one point your screen just goes into sort of static, like you've sort of switched over the channel to something else, or the brightness will go down or something like that, or you'll have lines coming down the screen like it's an old videotape. All things like that, loads and loads of different effects start happening. So to guess of how many actual effects there are, I'd have to say, I don't know, is there 50?
Not that many.
Oh.
It's
35.
No, it's 40. There are 40 unique insanity effects.
Oh, we're
within
far
the
off
game.
then.
So you weren't far off
close
at all.
But in terms of the game stuff, that's quite impressive.
It is, and considering, I mean, this game was originally intended for the N64. It was originally going to come out on there, and then they pushed it back and then brought it out on the GameCube. And you're right. I mean, there's everything from the fact that your character can be running around without a head.
Yeah.
Loss of video signal, like you said. Signal flares, false restarts. So the game will just restart on you for no apparent reason.
So first of all, God of War update. This is a game that
Did you get through the door?
I'm battling my way through.
Day
Right.
69 in the door. Master's made it to a door.
I'm pretty sure, according to all the reviews that I read on it, you know, most people are sort of getting through it in about 10 hours or something. But I'm there. It's around about week 6
Well,
or something.
if you look at Wikipedia, it's only a 2-hour game.
It's still there going, how do I throw my axe?
Yeah.
What's that kid doing there?
No. I must say I'm enjoying it more and more as I go through. There's a couple of bits that have stumped me. There was one bit majorly got totally lost, totally stuck.
Well, anyone that heard it was in the Christmas one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it in the Christmas one?
Yeah, maybe. I think it was either the last episode or the one before. I was about ready to throw the towel in because I'd basically got to a bit where there was a door that you had to get through, or so I thought, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to get through this door.
We did suggest the handle.
It actually turned out that you didn't even have to go through the door. That wasn't where you were supposed to go. You were actually supposed to go through a little
It wasn't
corridor.
even a door.
Yeah. You do go through this door later on in the game, which I discovered from watching a very, very, very long YouTube video.
Gavin.
Yeah, but...
The thing that gets me is you've spent more time with this game than your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, his family like, Matt, who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sits there and he's painted himself in red face paint.
He's got a red line down one side, he's shaved his head.
He's calling everybody boy.
Every time his girlfriend comes in, he goes, boy! As if it's from Phantasm.
They understand.
Well, she left him, but she understands.
Yeah.
So it turns out that this door that I was trying to get through, there's basically a corridor right next to the door. You follow that round, and then you just climb up like a little ladder, basically, and that leads you onto the bit where you were, supposed to be going. But I'm enjoying it more and more.
Can I just add that Alex and myself, we actually watched Matt play a bit of this game.
Oh, there was another bit.
He was stuck, and we just went, well, what about that ledge over there?
Yeah.
And he went, oh, I've not tried that.
Now, come on, in my defence, and everybody's done it, and I don't care what you say, everybody who's a gamer has done it. At some point, you're playing a game, and you'll get stumped by something that you're just not seeing. And I did say this at the time.
No, because this was very obvious. I mean, you had basically a semicircle where you were climbing up and down the ledge on one side of it, and there was an identical ledge on the other side that you didn't see that existed.
I know. I'm in agreement with Matt. I mean, there's times where I've played FIFA and I just can't understand what you do with that ball.
Well, I wouldn't know that, to be fair. But there was a silly moment where Chris and Alex were around my house the other day, and there was a bit where I shouldn't have admitted, I shouldn't have used the word stuck. That was the embarrassment, right? I said, look at this bit, guys, I'm stuck on it. And there was that, as he says, there was a ledge that I was supposed to climb up, which was right opposite the ledge that
you were already
climbed up. And I went, I can't see anything else. I can't see anywhere else I'm supposed to go. And straight away, Alex just goes, I want you to climb that bit over there. Oh. So that was the end of that problem.
It does genuinely help to have someone with a fresh pair of eyes
and a brain,
and actual sort of working eyesight.
That
does help. Yeah.
Well, that's me out.
Yeah. So it's
got Alex. Oh my word! Me and Alex are the best with eyesight.
Yeah, us three were like Gorgons.
See no evil. See no evil.
So, as much as I've encountered some obstacles, shall we say, I'm enjoying the game. It's getting better and better as it goes along. The last point in which I switched it off was I got to a boss fight, which I'm not going to say was by any means boring. It is not boring at all. It's a really good epic boss fight, but my God, it goes on.
This boss, by the way, it's a big square thing that says, please reconnect controller.
Yeah. So just another thing. This is completely random, but I've been meaning to talk about this for weeks, right? I'm going to talk about not a particular game, but a particular genre of game. I'm talking about the platform game. And I want to see where the people stand on this, right? Through to the SNES and the Mega Drive and Sonic the Hedgehog and everything. And I'm still always on the lookout for a good platform game. I like playing things now, like you've got I won't name them all because there's too many, but there's games like that Unravel, amazing platform game. I've just started playing.
Or even the classics like Rayman and, as you pointed out, Crash Bandicoot.
I tell you what, Rayman is amazing.
See,
Rayman Legends.
Game, my brain went bubble bobble.
Rayman Legends, Rayman Origins, absolutely amazing games. And I'll be honest, I will put as much time into games like that as I will into something like God of War or your Uncharted or your Red Dead Redemption or something like that. I really do enjoy it. So I was just interested to find out where anybody else. Craig's probably a bit lost on the mention of platform games by the looks of it.
Well, usually because you can't reach any.
Yeah, well, that's it. What gets me with most games is when it comes to jumping in any game.
Well, when it comes to jumping in anything
it's
in
usually,
your life,
it's usually like X or A.
No, I understand that it's the whole premise of a character that can jump twice their actual height, which kind of throws me.
I don't think realism was ever the intention.
Jumping.
To be fair, we can jump twice your height.
I'm not small, I'm 6'4".
I don't think realism was ever really on the agenda.
No, I get that, but it's for me. I mean, platform games are to go right back was the Commodore 64 times for me, and it was very much you had to jump from the bottom of the screen and try to get to the top of the screen as quick as you can.
Yeah, I mean, like sort of like going right back to say like Donkey Kong, the original Donkey Kong, and that was sort of like your original type platform game.
Whereas things like Rayman and all that, for me, they're not necessarily platforms; they're more explory type games.
Well,
no, they are still platform games. Right, that concludes this week's Blue Shell review. Hopefully Alex will be back for the next one, and at some point in the not too distant future, we've got a retro special coming along. So, bye-bye.
See you later.
Take care.